Hello friends, welcome to aimstoday YouTube channel, Neet Foundation Biology, about famous biologists. In this video we are going to discuss about some of the famous biologists who contributed their knowledge to our understanding of biology. Gregor Mendel, the founder of modern genetics. Mendel used pea plant to discover and demonstrate the laws of genetic inheritance, coining the terms dominant and recessive genes in this process. The laws were discovered at the turn of the 20th century and provided the mechanism by which Darwin's theory of natural selection can occur. The two famous laws introduced by Gregor John Mendel, law of segregation and law of independent assortment. Genetics is the field of biology that studies how characteristics or traits are passed from parent to children. Gregor Mendel, often considered as the father of genetics, was the Austrian monk, gardened and grew peas in the mid-1800s. He looked at 7 different traits in the pea plants, that is height, pod appearance, seed texture, position of flowers, flower color, pod color, seed color, etc. The two theories combine to form out current understanding of the evolutionary process. Next, famous biologist Alfred Russel Wallace, the famous for Wallace line. The research of British naturalist Alfred Russel Wallace played a pivotal role in developing the theory of natural selection. Wallace collected more than 1 lakh insect, bird and animal specimens which he gave to British museums. He is a Russel Wallace, biologist, naturalist and explorer. He studied geographical distribution of animal species in his biography, and influenced by Malthus, the famous personality who wrote an essay on growth of population, they realized that the species diverse from similar ones due to environmental pressures. And Wallace developed his own theory of evolution very similar to Darwin's. Next, Watson&Crick, famous for discovering the structure of DNA in 1962. Francis Crick and James Watson shot to fame in 1962 for their discovery of the structure of DNA, winning the Medical Nobel Prize in the process. Their model of DNA double helix explains how DNA replicates and how hereditary information is coded and passed on. Watson&Crick discovered the double helix by building models to conform to X-ray data. Watson saw an X-ray photo of DNA produced by Rosalind Franklin. Watson&Crick deducted from Franklin data that one. And she also got the Nobel Prize along with this because she died of cancer due to more exposure to the X-rays. The discovery of the structure has led to a much more developed understanding of function used in disease diagnosis and treatment, and even in forensic science also it is useful, detecting the criminals. Later, famous another scientist, Wilmat&Campbell, the famous for being the first scientist to clone a mammal in 1996. Keith Campbell and Ian Wilmot cloned a mammal famously named Dolly, the sheep. The pair cloned Dolly using a single adult sheep cell and a process of nuclear transfer. Dolly died after only 6 years, but cloning continues, although still not perfected and certainly not ready for human application yet. The Ian Wilmat and Keith Campbell. These two are famous for cloning process. Next famous scientist, Jagadish Chandra Bose. Sir Jagadish Chandra Bose is one of the most prominent first Indian scientists who proved by experimentation that both animals and plants share much in common. He demonstrated that plants are also sensitive to heat, cold, light, noise, and various other external stimuli. The modern scientist Jagadish Chandra Bose was the first scientist to discover that plants too are living beings and have similar life cycles and functions like animals. He pioneered investigation of radio and microwave optics. IIT named him one of the fathers of radio science. He is a biophysicist, invented crescograph, an instrument for measuring the growth of plants. A crater on the moon has been named in his honor. Bose contrived a very sophisticated instrument called crescograph, which could record and observe the minute responses because of external stimulants. It was capable of magnifying the motion of plant tissue to about 10,000 times of their actual size, which found many similarities between plants and other living organisms. So he is the person who proved that plants also has life. Next, famous our Indian scientist Monkombu Sambasivan Swaminathan. M.S. Swaminathan is an Indian geneticist and international administrator renowned for his leading role in India's Green Revolution, where high-yield varieties of wheat and rice seedlings were planted in the field of poor farmers. He is known as Indian Father of Green Revolution for his sincere leadership and success in developing high-yielding varieties of wheat in India. M.S. Swaminathan, Monkombu Sambasivan Swaminathan, is an Indian geneticist and international administrator, born in Tamil Nadu, father of Indian Green Revolution, for his leadership and successful in introducing and further developing the high varieties of wheat, moving India to sustainable development, especially using environmental sustainable agriculture, sustainable food security, and the preservation of biodiversity, which he calls an evergreen revolution. He worked as a Director General of ICAR, IRRI and IUCN, the founder of M.S. Swaminathan Research Foundation in Chennai, and as a chairman of the National Commission on Agriculture, National Commission on Farmers, etc. The great personality. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel.